Hey, how's it going? I'm completing the entirety of old school RuneScape from scratch. 200 mil all, Grandmaster Slayer helm, collection log, you name it. And I've been hoarding progress clips for the past 5 months. My big goal right now is 2,000 Tombs of a Massacre to get my first Raids 2k milestone cape. But because this is RuneScape, I decided to go on a little side goal to make TOA a little bit easier. I picked the Gauntlet with the goal of getting every drop including the pet. That way I'd be able to return to TOA with full crystal armor, a boffer, and a bunch of other upgrades. And in the last video I did get an enhanced and all of the other smaller drops, although I didn't get the pet. So that was my plan for this video, just go back to the Gauntlet and get the pet. Only problem was that I had Jagex trying to throw me off course for the entire video. So let's just start off with me doing my birdhouse runs. I've purely trained Hunter only through birdhouses and I've now finally hit 99, just in time for the Varlamore Hunter Guild. If you've ever wondered how many god eggs you get from doing birdhouses all of the way to 99, well, I've put them on screen for you. Next up was something that completely slipped my mind last video. You see, Jagex announced that there would be a Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded. So here's me doing the Halloween event, here's me doing the Christmas event, and here's me logging in, claiming a dragon trophy and buying a whole bunch of rewards with my points. I did mention at the very start of the completionist series that I'll be going for dragon trophies. They're needed to fill the leagues room in my house in the main game. I'm also going for every single pet in leagues as well, and I'll show all of the league pet clips at the end of the video. For now though, the rewards I bought in the main game were the Twisted House Blueprints. It's a theme for your house that turns everything dark. I got all of the home teleport animations, the death animation where you combust into flames, the High Elk and the Vengeance ones, and some ornament kits for the cannon, the blue pipe, and a couple of god books that I had. There were 4 other rewards that I chose which I can't use quite yet, being the Bulwark kit, the Twisted Horns for the Slayer helm, and then the Trailblazer Globe and the Rejuvenation Pool kit for the POH. And then, straight after Leagues, Jagex came out with a new mid-level rat boss called Scurrius, which is the new best combat training method, and it has a pet. Seeing as though I'm not maxed combats yet, it does make sense to put the Gauntlet grind on hold for a moment to go green log this real quick too. So I bought Bandos Tassets, a chest plate, as well as an Abyssal Tentacle, and made my way over to the Varrock sewers. You don't have to complete a quest or anything to start killing this rat, which is an added bonus. And after about 60 kills, I got my first unique drop, being the Scurrius Spine, which can be used to create rat bane weapons. I chose to make the bone mace first, which you create by combining a rune mace and a spine on an anvil. I then went straight back in, and these new weapons are insane. They hit so hard on the rat boss. I was getting roughly 140,000 strength XP per hour, which is slightly over what I'd be getting in the Nightmare Zone Darokin, I think. But also at the same time I'm getting boss kill count and a new pet out of it. I got my second spine at 150 kill count, and I combined that one with a yew short bow to make a bone short bow, and then on the next trip I got the third one, so I made that into the final weapon, being the bone staff. Just combine this one with a battle staff and charge it with chaos runes. And a nice little bonus with these rat weapons is you can one tick insta kill all of the rat spawns, kind of like the skulls that the warden spits out at TOA. I personally decided to stick with the bone mace throughout the entire pet hunt. I do need to train my mage in my range too, but I can always train mage by alking in between hits during the boss fight, as well as during the respawn timer, which is exactly what I did. It felt like every hour I was seeing a level up, and eventually I got myself the second 99 of the video, being strength. This is going to be real nice to have in the Corrupted Gauntlet as well as TOA. I mean, sure, having all of the best gear in the game is nice, but stats are just as important, if not more so. Which is why I love this boss. It's such a great option for people just wanting to train their stats up, but it's also a very well designed boss in general. The boss teaches you prayer switching with the Major and the Ranger on Scurrius' back, as well as positioning. You have to dodge all of the falling rocks occasionally, and unlike raids or Jad, you aren't heavily punished for making a mistake. So if you or someone you know is trying to get into PVM and wants to practice mechanics, then this is a great way to learn and level up at the same time. For some quick tips, you can eat the food piles in the arena every 10 minutes, kind of like the altar or the God Wars dungeon. Also, there's a group version of the boss where anyone can join in and help, and a private instance one. The private instance one does have a little less health, so it scales nicely for solos. After the first week of the boss coming out, Jagex added some combat achievements. I unlocked the first couple of kill count ones just by logging in. There's also one for insta-killing all of the rat spawns, which is easy enough, as well as getting a perfect kill, which is also super easy. Not only that though, but they added a medium clue scroll drop as well, so after every trip I go off and do those. I'll be showing off all of the clue casket stacks later in the video like usual. Anyway, after a bunch more level ups and Scurrius spine drops, this finally happened after about 2,500 kill count. Oh my god! Oh my god, I finally got the Scurry pet! Oh my god. Oh, finally. Oh my god. Yes, I can leave. I can leave. I think I say this every time I get a pet or like something I'm like really going for. I see the collection log pop up and I'm like, why is that coming up? Why is there a collection log coming up? Because I just go into like autopilot mode and I'm just like, oh my god, there's no way I'm gonna get this. I'll be here forever. And then when I finally do get it, I'm surprised for some reason. Nice. Okay, well, onto the gauntlet, I guess. So yeah, I did get my next pet. It just wasn't the one I was expecting at this point. Some cool little things you can do with a Scurry pet is feed him cheese for some unique dialogue. I feel like that one's kind of obvious, but one little Easter egg is using a cannon barrel on the pet. When you do that, it runs away from you, asking why you'd want to do that. Which I'm pretty sure is a reference to one of the old designs where instead of a ranged minion, he just had a cannon strapped to his back and would just shoot you instead. Which, I think they should have kept that. They could have also kidnapped like a splasher in revenge and then had it shoot you as the mage attack instead. But either way, the boss is really cool, and as you can tell, I highly recommend people try it out. And if getting a pet, a bunch of medium caskets, combat tasks, and a ton of XP wasn't enough, every single duplicate Scurrius spine you get can be traded in for combat XP lamps. I'm sure Ironman will likely go for prayer XP, but I decided on getting myself an attack and a defense level as I was quite close. I also finished off 93 Mage because I wasn't far off that either. I can't really remember why I was cosplaying as a prayer pot, but there you go. And yeah, okay, so finally back to the gauntlet. I was a little rusty going back in, as you can imagine, but we're still getting kill count fairly quickly. Also, I finished last video on 250 kill count, and it didn't take very long to get my next gigantic drop. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got a second one. I got a second enhanced. Oh my god, 282. 30. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even... What? Am I gonna sell that? Do I just sell that, or should I make a blade out of it? Oh god. I really was not expecting that at all. That has really thrown me. I didn't think I'd get another one. Oh my god, I'm kind of speechless right now. Jesus Christ. 108 mil as well. Wow. Alright, I think it's time. I don't usually do this, but if you've been enjoying my videos so far, then do subscribe if you haven't already. Whenever I upload, my videos are guaranteed to have a ton of hours dumped into them, and usually have big drops and achievements. I also try not to waste time and show all of the interesting bits, and as you can imagine, because they take so long to make, being subscribed is one way to make sure you don't miss out on them. It's also a good signal to YouTube to push out my videos to more people as well, so thank you. Finally got another armor seed. What is that? Was that 400? I can't see the kill count. 395. Finally got another armor seed, man. But I'm almost dry for another one. Let me check my collection log. Where's Gauntlet? Yeah, I finally got 6, and it's a 1 in 50, I think? Okay, yeah, it's a 1 in 50. So I'm due 2 more armor seeds at this point. Okay, well, you know, I'm happy I'm finally catching up. I can't complain too much, can I? I got the 2 enhancers, so. Alright, well, back in I go. Alright, what we got? I hate you. I was waiting for the collection log pop up, but it wasn't there. At this point, I had to take a short break from the Gauntlet grind because my fiance was maxing her 2nd skiller, which is an Ironman this time. She's been camping Herbivore for well over a couple of years now, and she finally got herself 99 Herblore. There is a new Herblore minigame coming to Volamore, so that kinda sucks, but she was still super happy to have completed a goal. We did a small drop party for the Saints, including a bunch of potions that Tara made, as well as some donations. And I don't know if it's just my clan, but anytime we're celebrating something in the hall, it always ends up with us in the combat ring. And you know, as fun as it is to grind out content and go for drops, taking a break and doing dumb things like this is also super fun for me. Straight after the party though, I went back to the Gauntlet, scoring myself 2 more armor seeds, putting me just about on rate for them. After claiming my loot every time from the Gauntlet chest, I'd go out of the portal and check for crystal implings. I've caught a ton of them throughout the grind, and they'll be added to the Dopamine Bank tab. The next clip needs a little bit of context. I've started streaming over on Twitch. It's a nice way to show the day-to-day progress and for me to answer any questions that you guys have. Now, the reason I mention this is because I saved a chest to open at the start of the stream, and obviously I wasn't expecting anything out of it, of course. And I was just chatting with viewers who were popping in, and then this happened. Anyway, I got a chest ready, so... Whoa! No way! No way! I just started! What? I got an elite clue out of it as well! Jesus Christ! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh, 112 mil. 112 mil. Oh, that's how we like to start a stream. That's how we like to start a stream. Oh, have a look at this. Have a look at this. 3rd one? Sure, why not? Why not? It'd be rude not to, right? It'd be rude not to take a 3rd enhanced. We're up to 570 million. Woo! So yeah, sure, I'm not getting the pet, but I'm still very much enjoying the Gauntlet, especially when it's pumping out drops like that for me. As I say, feel free to come over to Twitch and checking out the streams as well. Shout out to everyone who has been checking them out already and keeping me company whilst doing the Gauntlet grind. It's been super fun. Anyway, more Gauntlet progress. I'm at 500 kill count at this point, and I did start to get lower average times. I'm aiming to get the 6-minute 30 time eventually for the Grandmaster task, so trying to improve prep and making sure that I'm not missing too many attack cycles whilst in the boss room is super important. But my motivation for going fast comes and goes. I mean, during the Gauntlet grind day in and day out, sometimes I just want to chill out and I don't mind doing slower preps just to make sure that I'm racking up kill count safely with full inventories of food. Also, of course, from the Gauntlet, there's a 1 in 20 chance of getting an elite clue, and whilst completing one, I did get a nice range level out of it. I went back to the red prison and also got myself 99 hit points for the third 99 of the video. I kind of forget that hit points itself is a skill, so I'm always happily surprised whenever I get a level up for that. I also don't want to talk about my clan too much. After all, this is my own progress series, but I am a clan leader, and I want to just say well done to all of the gamers in there recently. We've been seeing so many shadows, scythes, next drops, and tons of big money items flooding into the clan recently. I managed to capture this one in a clip. I'm pretty sure that that was a learner raid for someone as well, and that they essentially tripled their bank value. But I guess it is kind of relevant to talk about the clan because we were running a PVM bingo. We split everyone into 3 teams, Zamorak, Guthix, and Saradomin. I put myself on the Guthix team, which is why you may see me rocking my team colors throughout these next clips. And because I designed the bingo board, of course I had to sneakily put on Corrupted Gauntlet so that I wasn't swayed away from my goals yet again. I didn't contribute a whole lot for the team besides some armor seeds, but we did end up winning, and almost everyone who took part ended up making a bunch of money and taking home some new pets. If you want to run the PVM bingo for your own clan, I'll put the board I made in the description with all of the templates if you want to steal it and just, you know, like change things around. They're very fun to take part in, and it gets everybody PVMing together. Okay, so that is that's a cool RuneScape name. All right. Reverse psychology. I am not getting an armor seed. I am not getting a pet. I'm not getting an enhanced. Trash loot. Go. It worked. It worked. I got an armor seed. It sort of worked. It actually sort of worked. I got an armor seed. 4 mil. 4.7 mil. Hell yeah. After a few more runs inside the gauntlet after the armor seed drop, I got a new PB on 770 kill count. Come on. Damn, I don't think that's time. Oh, it is! I got it! I just got a master task time. Hell yeah. I was hitting so bad at the end, I didn't know if I was going to hit it or not. I had like a, how good was the prep? 4 minute 14. 3 minute, oh god, I still had 5 seconds to spare as well. Still not good enough for the 6 minute 30 time. I think I could probably get it, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that for now. So, the predicament that I got myself in was that because of leagues and because of Scurrius, this video that you're watching ended up quite delayed. So I set myself the hard cap of 800 kill count, which is the rate for the pet. At that point, I'd sell off the loot tab, mop up some smaller goals that I've been wanting to do, and so that way I can get this video out for you. I will be straight back into the gauntlet after this video is uploaded though. I am not giving up on the pet. I do not care how long it takes me. I am not leaving. The loot tab this time has just about 675 million GP in it. If I take out the enhanced seeds, it comes out to about 311 mil. Although that's not showing the true amount because all of the runes I was collecting from the gauntlet were just all going straight into my Mage tab. I don't really see a point in selling these off because I'll likely just use them in the future anyway, so I decided to keep them. You also just get pure cash from gauntlet as well, so that just went to my coin stack. But also, as you can see, there's a bunch of other stuff in here too, like the leftover bird nest from doing 99 Hunter, as well as some Karambwines and Redwoods, but I'll tell you where those came from in a moment. For now though, I needed to open all of the bird nests to sell off the loot from those, and I was running out of bank space for the first time, so I decided I'd buy my first bank slot upgrade on the account. The first upgrade costs 1 mil, and you get a nice 40 slots out of it. Eventually, I'll have bought all of the upgrades for that bank slots, and in total, it's gonna cost me 888 mil. After opening all of the nests, I took out 6 armor seeds and 1 of my enhanced. I headed over to the singing bowl and made myself full crystal armor for the first time, and also made the corrupted version of the Bofa costing 2,900 shards, leaving me with a spare 2,500 crystal shards, which is quite nice. I then went next door and bought 4 recolor crystals for a total of 2 mil GP and went with coloring my set purple. 2 reasons for this. The first being that I want purple chests from TOA when I return, but the other reason being because of my Saints clan. I started it around 15 years ago when I just got finished playing the old Saints Row games, so purple is our color. I teleported over to the Grand Exchange and had a final look at the loot tab, and after making the armor set and corrupting the bow, the tab sits at 536 mil. I sold off absolutely everything, and with the cash stack I already had in my bank, I ended on a little over 586 mil, the biggest cash stack I've ever had on this account so far. Now it's time to knock out some smaller goals that have been bugging me for a little bit whilst doing the gauntlet. I've got my quest cape months ago now, and since then there have been a bunch of mini quests and regular quests added. I've got to keep on top of these, so I finished his Faithful Servants, which is a small mini quest where you do 1 Barrows run. You come out with a strange icon and give it to the strange old man. There's a nice 20k prayer XP lamp as well as a crypt map, which is quite useful for whenever I return back to Barrows. And then there was a new barbarian training method released, and because I hadn't quite fully finished my barbarian training, I figured now was as good a time as any. This new barbarian method lets you smash plant pots whilst farming, which is a nice quality of life upgrade, and you can also plant seeds by just punching them straight into the patches without the use of a seed dipper. I did already finish the fishing side of the barbarian training, but I still needed to kill a mithril dragon for some chewed bones. So I did that real quick for a nice collection log slot. Unfortunately, didn't get spooned on a dragon full helm, would have been nice, not gonna lie. And then next I had to make a barbarian potion and smith a hasta, both straightforward enough, and with that my training was done. I am told to seek to inspire all with my daring deeds and legendary feats. I'm sure it'll be quite some time until I take on more legendary feats, as next I decided to buy myself 99 prayer with a cash stack that I'd built up. During the off-peak hours I went to the Chaos Altar to sacrifice all of the bones. And also because I spawn in Prif, anytime that I'm respawning I'm on the hunt for even more crystal implings. They have a nice unique drop that I'm hunting, being the Elven Signet, but also they do have a chance to give out elite clues too. When the Chaos Altar was too busy or it was peak hours, I go back to finishing off quests. Children of the Sun was next, which is the quest that unlocks the new area expansion, Varlamore. It's a real quick one, the only annoying bit about it is the trailing mission with the stealth system. These aren't fun to do in any game, let alone RuneScape. But as I say, it didn't take very long and that was another quest completed. Next was Path of Gloffrey. This was an old RuneScape 2 quest that released just after the 2007 game backup that we're all playing today. So it just fit nicely into old school. I can't say much about this one though, it's just really quick, quite fun, unlocks new Slayer monsters, and it gives a whole bunch of XP, including 20k Slayer, which is pretty good. And then came my new favourite quest. I didn't have high hopes for this one, but I absolutely loved it. Defender of Varrock. We get to see a big huge zombie horde taking on the guards inside Varrock Castle, and it's just pure mayhem. I usually skip dialogue, but this one was really fun. Especially the part where backup arrives and he screams "Die zombie scum" and just completely obliterates the entire horde. It's good stuff, great XP, and Secrets of the North is next. Before starting the quest though, I noticed something that I had no idea that existed until now. A dog just chilling inside the mansion grounds called Scruffy. Has he always been in the game? Because I've genuinely never seen this dog before. Anyway, this one was quite good too. It has some nice boss fights and puzzles. A nice bonus of leaving quests unfinished for so long is I get to use the quest helper plugin. I suck at puzzles, especially in RuneScape. Back in the day, I always paid the 200k to have the Monkey Madness puzzle completed for me, and the quest helper plugin is just an absolute godsend for me personally. I had a fight with Musper for the first time. I went in mostly blind and managed to survive. I imagine that the quest version is a weaker version than the actual boss, so I'm going to have to make sure that I actually watch a guide whenever I come back here. And yeah, another quick one out of the way. This one didn't take very long at all, and that 60k agility XP is very much appreciated. Another quick goal that I wanted to knock out was completing all hard achievement diaries, because I just about have all of the stats required for them and the unlocks they give are very nice to have. I recommend to anyone, if you're not sure what to do in game and you have some achievement diaries to complete, maybe just go for those. It's a good way to progress throughout the game and you get some nice XP lamps for your trouble. And of course all of the various unlocks they give in each area. I'm sure in the future we'll see a Varlamore achievement diary, so I'll have to make sure I knock that one out as well. Anyway, back to prayer, and I decided to test something out whilst at the Chaos Altar. I'm usually doing one inventory runs, and so I have a locator orb and a burning amulet on me, which leaves me with one extra item to keep on death. So I brought along a dragon's spear. I figure I can use it to stun PKs when they're attacking me or someone else, but it also gives me the opportunity to mess with the PKs and make some escapes. In this clip, I'd already finished up my bones, so I decided to protect the other bone runners by stunning this guy repeatedly, and then we all just decided to fight back and we killed him. And usually at the Chaos Altar, most PKs out on their own aren't actually very good at all. The guy came back and he took out the poor bone runner next to me. I finished up the inventory while stunning him away, and then after I was finished, I speared him again and then stood on top of his loot pile. He was so focused on killing me that he actually left some on the ground, so I picked those up, sacrificed them, and then he eventually took me out. I asked if anyone was out PKing in the clan and called them over. They took him out pretty swiftly and I carried on unbothered for a little while. My experiment with the Dragon Spear though was a success. If you're doing one inventory runs yourself, I recommend you do it. Sometimes if I'd already used up all of my bones, I just troll the PKs by spearing them, running out of the altar, closing the door and repeating. It was quite fun to mess around with them, and very rarely some would get quite anxious of you spearing them. I mean, remember, it is multi in there, so if they're speared and another team comes along, they're kinda screwed. And then, shortly after 92 prayer, I witnessed a murder going on. I couldn't let this guy get away with it, so decided to take him on, and an actual PK logged in at the exact same time and helped me out. As he dropped to the floor, he politely asked if I wanted his glory, so I took that. Then another ragger logged in and started hitting the runner next to me, so I tried to help out, then ended up killing him as well. Any ragger coming into the altar with a skull, I decided to take on. This guy rocked up, and so I speared him off the altar so he couldn't use his bones. He tried to fight back, couldn't hit at all, and then just made a run for it. The only problem was I had a couple of stuns left, so he just dropped to the floor, and that was a free inventory for me. One small problem I'd run into rarely is that because I'm using the burning amulet, anytime I tellied over to the lava maze, there would sometimes be actually good PKs scouting the KBD killers. If you find yourself in these dastardly wicked conditions, just put on augury or your best mage offense prayer, because this works for magical defense as well. Anytime the PK got close, I'd spear them off, then made a run for the KBD arena, which doesn't count as the wilderness, so I could telly away. Then I ran over to the Ferox Enclave to recover. I switched worlds and carried on with the prayer grind, getting myself 94 prayer along with 122 combat. And then shortly after I got 95 prayer, and at this point the amount of PKs was slowly increasing, the danger rising. But I got so confident with my spear that I didn't even care if I'd see a PK. This guy almost took me out for an entire set of bones, but I did manage to escape on 8 hit points with a logout. And something you could do is combine the locator orb with the redemption prayer to claw back some hit points. So I did that on my way back to the altar. I'm sure you get the idea by now though. Bring along a dragon spear with you if you're doing this yourself. Just take out the raggers and stun PKs off you and sacrifice the bones as soon as possible. If you're like me, you can just mess around with the PKs after using the bones, and it's good practice for prayer switching in PvP and making escapes. It also just wastes their time, and if they spot you again, they're more likely to try and take on someone else instead. So yeah. Many dragon spears and bones later, I got myself the 4th 99 of the video, being prayer. This skill cape is one of my favorites, but the emote is probably the best out of any skill cape emote in my opinion. It fits the theme of being a saint real well. And that's prayer done, so now it's time to grind out the rest of the hard diary tasks. Something that had slipped my mind was needing a Slayer helmet for the Desert Hard diary. I had to kill a Dust Devil with one equipped, and I never actually unlocked this. I did some Turiel Konar boosting where you take on 9 tasks from Turiel, where you just kill a few cows and cave bugs, and then you return to Konar on the 10th task. Doing that gives 90 points per Konar task, and it speeds up gaining points rapidly. After a few uneventful tasks, I had enough to make the Slayer helmet, and immediately went to take out the Dust Devil. KQ was next, just the 1 kill for the hard diary. Unfortunately, no 1 kill count pet or head today, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll be doing all of my Cal fight tasks here in the future anyway. After a bunch of miscellaneous tasks, I cashed in the RD hard diary so that I'd have a boosted chance of pickpocketing. I wasn't far off 75 thieving, and that's exactly what I needed in order to complete some of the tasks in the other diaries. I did a bunch of random tasks including completing a pest control game, and then started to claim all of the XP lamps from all of the NPCs around the game. That was all of the hard diaries finally completed, and of course, as you can probably guess, I dumped every single one of those lamps into rune crafting, getting myself level 72. I also noticed that after doing a whole bunch of teleporting around the game and using the staff inside the gauntlet, I was close to my next mage level being 94. This is a big one because now I'm able to do my Flaming Vengeance animation, and I've unlocked Ice Barrage, which is huge. It was also quite fitting for my final quest being Desert Treasure 2, an absolute mammoth of a quest. I did buy myself a few mage upgrades for this one, with my cash stack being a Tormented Bracelet, an Eladinus Ward, and a Basilisk Jaw to upgrade my Nater's Knot helmet. With my new gear, I made my way over to the temple and started the quest. I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy this one. I heard it's super long and quite difficult. On the other hand, I've been told that it's probably one of the best quests that Jagex has put out in a long time. When you take out the first smaller boss, you get to decide which bosses and areas to take on. I just went with whatever quest helper wanted me to do, so my first start was Stranglewood and Verdorvis. Not a great first boss in my opinion. I really do not like the stealth mechanics in this game, like I said earlier, so Strangled and the infection meter thing were kind of annoying to deal with. The little tower defense portion was quite cool though, along with the Verdorvis fight. After I took him out, I bought myself another upgrade, being an Archer's Ring. I already had a ton of points stacked up in Nightmare Zone, so I instantly imbued it. There were a couple of Debbie bosses, and then it was time for the Leviathan. I think I over-prepped for this one because I didn't know that it was another one of those fights where it's a weaker version of the regular boss just for the quest. I think I only ate like 2 pieces of food. And then next was the Duke, a bunch of puzzles and some survival sections. Nothing too bad, the Duke fight itself is quite fun, but I'm not sure if I'd enjoy prepping the Duke a poison concoction every time, but just gonna have to cross that bridge when I get to it. After beating the Duke, I tallied out and I got a Sandwich Lady random. I already have the Stale Baguette, but I wouldn't say no to another one. But no, turns out it wasn't the Sandwich Lady after all, but a Ragga in disguise. I absolutely loved this. I didn't have much food left at all, and the guy is sprinting after me, barraging me, tele-blocking me, and yeah. Just overall, this quest has been great so far. I did make it back to the temple, and the last big boss to take care of was the Whisperer. The Lesser Undercity where you find the Whisperer looks incredible, but the puzzles being so spread out and having to sprint around everywhere wasn't so fun. But it did have a nice creepy mysterious vibe to it, which I did enjoy. The boss fight itself with the Whisperer was probably my favourite one out of the 4. If you're lucky, you can get the pets and some of the unique drops from doing the quest. One of my clan members managed to get the Whisperer pet himself, which was amazing to witness. I wasn't so lucky this time, but I think I've been lucky enough with 1KC drops in the past. Then after the Whisperer, I got my revenge on the mysterious stranger who was chasing me in the desert and took back the final medallion I needed. Then shortly after is the final fight where you take on a whole bunch of bosses one after the other. It was actually a little tricky and I didn't have much food at the end of it, but I did finish the fight. With Desert Treasure 2 finished, I had successfully reclaimed my quest cape. I used 100k XP lamps on defense because I was close to a level, and that's 90 defense for base 90 combats, and almost 2.1k total. getting very close to maxing now. As usual, I'm always working on side goals as well as keeping up with my farm runs. I got myself a couple of extra bottomless buckets as well as hitting 35 million farming XP. I should probably go grind out the farming outfit at some point, but I'll leave that for now. I also managed to get the master speedrun task completed at Hespori during a routine farm run. Was really not expecting it, considering at this point I'm still using a DDS. Normally people use the Crystal Halberd, but I didn't complete the Diaries when I got this clip. But I do have one now, so maybe I'll see an even better PB. Someone in my clan also asked if I had all of the Hespori tasks completed now, so I went to check and I didn't. So I still needed to kill Hespori without using a single prayer point. So the next day I knocked that one out simply by just not praying at all and just eating food. Another side goal I was working on, which I've hinted to during the video, was going for a fish barrel at Temperos. I needed a new AFK goal, and using the fish barrel at Karambwans is incredibly AFK, and I could also work towards 99 fishing. When looting the pool, I did manage to stack up a bunch of spirit flakes, and I also got myself the tackle box, which is a nice item to save some bank space. Eventually I stacked up enough flakes to get the cosmetic override for the angler set. It works exactly the same as the regular one, given 2.5% increase in XP, but also acts as a robe inside Temperos, so it's a nice little quality of life boost. I would now show you me getting the fish barrel, you know, the entire reason that I'm here, but unfortunately I somehow deleted the clip, so here's a screenshot instead. I'm normally very good at keeping my clips organized for videos, and this is the first time this has happened. I was working on a little bonus video to upload, but I decided to scrap it when Lee's came out. So I think what happened was I deleted that clip along with it. But yeah, anyway, as you probably saw when I was selling off my loot tab earlier, I collected over 160,000 Karambwans just by AFK in here. Not only that, but I got a ton of clue scrolls as well. It takes a little while to grind out the fish barrel, but it's totally worth it to unlock this method. The reason it's so good to AFK is because the fishing spot just doesn't move. You literally just click it once and you're good for like a solid 5 minutes or so. It's also really easy to do on mobile whilst watching a movie or something. After getting 94 fishing, I thought it was probably time to put Karambwans on hold, because there's an entire section of the collection log dedicated to aerial fishing. I made my way over to Mulk Island and instantly got myself a golden tench, a fairly rare drop being a 1 in 20,000 chance. Incredibly lucky. Every so often when you hunt the fish, you have a small chance of getting a Mulk pearl, which is what you need to buy the other items from the reward shop here. In total, you need 1,370 pearls. And if you do end up staying here and completing this log yourself, then you're very likely to get duplicate golden tenches. So you can sell those back for an extra 100 Mulk pearls, saving you a few hours. Now, most people I know hate this content. I'm personally not too bothered by it. I don't hate it that much. If I was going to give you some tips for it, I'd recommend setting all of the regular fish to one-click drop and just buy fish chunks on the Grand Exchange, which is the bait you need. That way you don't have to cut any of them yourself and you could just focus on getting pearls. Obviously if you're an Ironman you can't do that, but yeah. Another thing to note about this place is that you get a lot of passive hunter XP too. Completing the log here, I managed to get an extra 4.6 million hunter XP. I was only really here for the log slots and fishing XP, so it's a nice further incentive. Now, you may be thinking the only reason I must have enjoyed aerial fishing is because I got a ton of golden tenches to trade in for extra pearls. Well, you'd be wrong. I mean, sure, I got the first golden tench almost instantly, but I didn't see my next one until around 1,000 pearls afterwards. But when I did eventually get it, I then got my third one almost straight after, so it's sort of balanced out. Shortly after those tenches, I got my fifth and final 99 of the video, though I was around 100 pearls short of completing the log, so I had to carry on. When farming my last few pearls, Jagex released an update where clues could remain on the floor for 1 hour at a time, essentially giving us stackable clues with extra steps. So if you're wondering why there's like 24 clues on the floor as I grab my last pearl here, that's why. You can reset the despawn timer on the clues by redropping them as well, and you can keep track of the time by installing the Clue Juggling Timers plugin. Anyway, with all of those pearls collected, it's time to buy all of the rewards. There's 3 equipable fishing rods, but the biggest item here is the fish sack, which costs 1,000 pearls itself. Can I get my fish barrel? If I empty that, can I just straight up just use that on the fish sack? Yes, I can. Where fish sack barrel? Hell yeah. Now I'm a proper collection logger. That thing looks cool. I then went ahead and started completing all of the clues that I'd left on the island. And next up is woodcutting. After finishing the AFK goal of fishing, I went back to the redwoods and managed to get 25 million XP in woodcutting. Besides the redwood logs that I sold off in the loot tab, the only other thing to mention about this grind was the amount of clues I got from it. But I'll show off the caskets I've collected over the past few months soon, because the other thing I was working on was obviously leagues. I did say at the start of the video I'm going for all future dragon trophies because they go in the POH, but I'm also going for all pets eventually because they do carry over to future leagues. My plan for this league was to upload 4 videos, but I was only able to get out 2 before I ended up getting sick, which ended up not being the end of the world because they weren't doing as well as my usual videos anyway. I guess the gigantic influx of everyone uploading league videos put people off, which, you know, I can understand. So for the future leagues, what I'll do is I'll just make one single video out of the whole event, or maybe I'll just attach it to another completionist video, kind of like what I'm doing with this one. Let me know what you think is best. I'm going to unlist the 2 that I made, but I'll put them in the description for anyone wanting to go rewatch them. For now though, I'll play the missing clips of all of the pets that I got this time around. Pet or pure essence? I'm good. Oh, it counts as a boss pet too. It counts as a boss pet. Alright. Second pet obtained. Hey. Okay, alright. I still need pure essence, so okay. Let me remember to clip that. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, please tell me I'm recording. I am. Brilliant. Wow. Okay. Giant mole on 37 KC. 37 KC for a giant mole. It took me like 6,000 on my old main account, and then it took, I think, about 1,600 on this account, but in the main game. Wow. Okay. That's number 3. That's number 3. I've got to still stay here for all of the kill count tasks. I was actually hoping I would go sort of dry on this one because all of the seeds that I can get from the mole parts would mean a Tangleroot pet. But, well, okay, I just got the Kraken pet at like 300, which is quite nice, but I was hoping to stay here for a little while because I need all of the tentacles to upgrade the trident for one of the tasks. But I'm pretty close to dragon rank anyway, so I guess I just skip that task and spend some more time elsewhere. But all right, cool. Nice one. That's another one done. Yeah, so 4 pets this time round. I did get lucky on almost all of them, but to be fair, I was hunting 3 other pets, which I didn't end up getting. One was the Zuk pet. I managed to get top page for Inferno, but no luck unfortunately. Then the other 2 were Cerberus and Thermi. I got top 5 for both, racking up thousands of kill count, but unfortunately didn't get those either. So I guess the RNG sort of balanced out in the end as well. I'm not too fussed about not getting the Inferno pet because I'm sure I'll be doing plenty of Inferno runs in future leagues. I did also max. I had well over 1 billion XP and I finished way over dragon rank as well. It was a ton of fun. I can't wait for the next leagues. Okay, here we are again, taking a look at the Dopamine tab. I've added the dragon trophy here because it's a nice little bank tab icon. I'm up to 43 mystery boxes now, and the casket stacks are growing week by week. I think almost every stack has grown since the last video, especially the elite caskets. I'm going to start off the next video with 2.6 thousand crystal shards. You may also notice that the egg stacks have gone up since getting 99 hunter with birdhouses. I haven't actually done any more runs, this has just come from elsewhere, but I'll show that clip in the next video. Also, obviously the crystal imps have increased a whole bunch this video too, and I did grab another dragon imp. Besides that, I guess I've started my brimstone key collection here from when I was doing Slayer for a little bit. And we of course have a new addition to the pets over here being Scurrius. Hopefully I end up getting the Hunlift soon so that I can add him as well. I've also got 68 spirit seeds. I really need to plant these, they're very good XP. And scrolling down, I've got those league rewards that I can't use quite yet, as well as a big stack of caskets from Temporos. These actually have hard clues in them, so they'll be fun to open whenever I finish that log. And yeah, that's the Dopamine tab this time around. I want to give a quick shout out to my channel members Carsten at the supporter tier and Titas at the benefactor tier. This is the very first time I'm even mentioning that I have channel memberships open, so a big thank you to these guys who wanted to support me financially without me even bringing it up. It really means a lot. Thank you. And in the next completionist video, I'm setting the hard cap of 2,000 Corrupted Gauntlet. If I still don't have the pet, I'll just keep going, uploading a video every couple of thousand kill count. As soon as I get that pet though, I'm heading straight back into the Tomb of Mascot for that milestone cape. And that next completionist video should be on screen. If not, then it's going to be my next upload where I make a 100-hour account build from scratch for my side series.